Here we go. Today on Collider Movie Talk, it's officially official. Pattinson is in play now, and Pixar releases a new trailer for their Onward film that has unicorns eaten out of a trash can. All of it here on Collider Movie Talk today, joined as always on a Friday, from what I understand now going forward. The wild man Josh Macuga is here with us, and the beautiful Dorina is here as well. You know her as Evil Dorina, and I am your host, John Rocha. Let's get into this stuff right now, because no, let's not delay at all. This is officially official, supposedly. Batman is Robert Pattinson.
Really contradicted yourself there, John.
We've heard Robert Pattinson.
No, Bobby Batts.
Bobby Batts is the one I like. Bobby Batts.
Yes.
I like our Bats.
You like our Bats.
And Pattinson.
You like both, but you don't like Bobby Batts.
Oh, Bobby Batts.
Only
From
when
Gotham
Josh does
City.
it.
They got an accent in Gotham City, don't they? It's about New York. Oh, Bobby Batts. He comes around the corner. He throws his little wing. He got his little belt full of toys and tricks.
Sure.
Oh.
I'm really surprised they didn't cast Josh.
Yeah.
That would be interesting to have a Batman with that kind of accent.
Yeah.
Put the drugs down. Put the drugs down.
They call me Batman.
What do you no crime would get solved that way.
No.
Either way, this is coming. This is an interesting situation because Deadline is the one that is supposedly officially confirming this from WB, and other trades have come out and echoed this confirmation. But Justin Kroll at Variety 2 weeks ago said that this was going to happen, and his tweet, I think, was shortlist my ass. So his feelings about this, that Nicholas Hoult and Robert Pattinson were both supposedly screen testing this week at WB for the role.
Slip of the tongue there. You said Robert Pattinson.
No, sorry, fine. Robert Pattinson.
It's official.
There it is, fine. But it was slipped out that they were having a screen test against each other for this part. But now rumors are circulating that maybe Holt is being looked at for the Riddler, because a following article from Forbes is saying here that the Riddler is going to be part of this, along with Catwoman and Penguin. And also, Robin is going to be involved in this, along with, quote, other villains and mob bosses. So this is all breaking all day today. I go to Dorina.
A Netflix series or a movie?
Well, that's a good question. I go to Dorina. Dorina, this sounds a lot like Long Halloween or Dark Victory, these Jeff Loeb Batman approaches. Does this, A, excite you that Pattinson is officially confirmed, and B, hearing all these villains and all these heroes being involved in this, does this excite you as a new way to go into the Batman lore?
What are you doing,
You
Josh?
better call him Bobby Batts. I don't want to hear nothing about nothing else.
I am excited about Pattinson. Here's the thing, and
Yeah.
I've said this before, I was an angry Batman fangirl before, and when they announced Batfleck, I was not into it, and I was wrong.
Okay.
He did a good job, so whenever we hear these casting news, you know what? Give him a chance. Everybody was talking crap about Heath Ledger, and he's one of the best Jokers other than Mark Hamill. He's amazing.
Yeah.
So it's weird because they announced a sort of casting news two weeks ago, and then I was like, okay, that's fine. And then when they announced Nicholas Hoult, I was like, wait, I kind of was used already to Robert Pattinson. So I was a little disappointed, even though I love Nicholas Hoult.
Right.
And I'm much more excited if Nicholas plays the Riddler, because I think he was so great in The Favorite, and he played this kind of like bitchy, sneaky character.
Yeah.
He would be a really good villain. I think he has the chops for it. I'm excited about Robert as well. He's obviously great in Good Time, which is a great movie. And speaking of Long Halloween, that's actually one of my favorite Batman comics growing up when I was reading Batman comics in the 90s. I think it's a really cool, kind of combination, bringing all the villains together that we all love. And I mean, that's basically when we got to know how Two-Face became Two-Face, you know? So I'm excited to see what villains they're going to bring. We don't know if it's a Long Halloween, but I would not be mad about that.
Yeah, and I would argue they still haven't done Two-Face right in the film.
Right.
I didn't like the Eckhart version. I didn't like the Tommy Lee Jones version.
You didn't like the Tommy Lee Jones room division with Drew Barrymore?
The Hot Topic version? No, I didn't like that ridiculous
I was a fan.
version. Josh, you look at this idea. I want to loop this in to one of the comments from various recs. I'm really excited for this casting. I've wanted to see Pattinson and Gyllenhaal step in the comic book world for a while now, so I'm having a good year. Are you excited by all of these actors stepping into this situation here in comic book land?
Yeah, I am. I like Robert Pattinson.
Okay.
I know that people love to have their opinions. Like poor, what's his name? Ed Sheeran goes on one episode of Game of Thrones. He has to shut off his Twitter because he's like, not in my Game of Thrones is this guy that gets all the chicks because he's really good at music gonna ruin my show. And then like Robert Pattinson, they're like, no, he was a vampire and he was in that chick flick and there's no way he can be my Batman. Ranker put out a picture of what Batman looked like in this comic book series, right?
Yeah.
And then
it was a Jeff Loeb.
Yeah, there you go. And a picture right next to Robert Pattinson, okay? I wake up in the morning wishing I had Robert Pattinson's jawline. Mm-hmm. That guy has the jawline set for a bat suit, right?
Yeah.
Look at this guy. That is Batman. But what is Batman supposed to do? He's supposed to stop a room with girls, right? That's what Bruce Wayne is when he walks in.
He's supposed to be a debonair, billionaire playboy. Yeah.
Exactly. That's what James Bond is supposed to be, even though it really doesn't make sense when you're a spy, because when you walk in and you're a spy and everybody's looking at you, it really doesn't make much sense. But when you are Batman and you walk in and you're Bruce Wayne, heads are supposed to turn. One, because you're Bruce Wayne, but two, because you're the best looking dude in the room. Mm-hmm. And I would gather to say 9 out of 10 times, Robert Pattinson's the best looking dude in the room.
It will be fine, you guys, as long as he doesn't sparkle.
Yeah, he's not going to sparkle, but he will shine.
Boom.
You know what I was disappointed with? There was no headlines this week when they said that Nicholas Hoult was going to maybe come in and test for Batman. It was going to be a test off or whatever. There was no headlines on Deadline or Comic Book World or dadsblog.blogspot.comicbooks.com that just said, "Holt your horses." It could be.
Wow.
I mean, I wouldn't be mad about it.
I guess, yeah.
Cody, open the window. What do you think? Cody? Okay.
Holt your horses.
Yeah, Dorian.
All right, well, there's one. Let's get some comments here real quick. Fulcrum asked, and let me go back to you, Dorina. Do you think he will be the detective we want him to be?
I mean, he could be, right? It's interesting because I was hoping for a more older Batman.
Yeah,
you know,
like a John Hamm.
Or I mean, Michael Keaton.
But, sure.
Anyways.
Oh my God.
I was hoping for like a Batman Beyond type story.
Right.
You know,
like a Logan?
Michael Keaton.
No, like literally Batman Beyond.
And
like,
he'd be Terry McGinnis.
Robert
Pattinson would be Terry
McGinnis.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted.
Can see that.
But it's fine. You know, I think it's being filmed in London, so that's an interesting change since we've had a lot of U.S. cities in the other movies. So so I'm wondering.
Pittsburgh. That's when you end it. You're like, we can't get any better than Pittsburgh.
He had to bring Pittsburgh.
To be fair, that is the best Batman movie we've seen yet.
That's
I think
true.
The Dark Knight in Pittsburgh. Yeah,
and Chicago. Though.
Right,
Chicago's Dark Knight. Dark Knight Rises.
Rise was Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Never mind. Then Pittsburgh. Forget it. Dark Knight. The Dark Knight with Chicago. That was the one. Go ahead.
Hell was that?
Anyways, so yeah, if it's being set in London, I don't know. Are they going to bring like? I would love to see more of the noir aspect of it, right? Because we've seen all different iterations of Bruce Wayne. We've seen the playboy in the movies. We've seen the more like brooding, sad character, and it just would be cool to like see what Batman is actually good at.
When you think about the Michael Keaton Batman, right? Because we've said before, that's my Batman, right?
Okay.
I really enjoyed the Christian Bale trilogy. I thought it was great. Yes, our Batman. I liked Val Kilmer. I even thought that George Clooney served the purpose of that Joel Schumacher movie. It wasn't a very good movie, but he really wasn't put in a position to be, the Batman that I think people were expecting. I think it was a cartoon.
Yeah. He didn't come up with Batman.
Don't you think that the Michael Keaton version of Batman, because he wasn't so much a playboy, right? He was a one-woman man in the first one. He was definitely more of a detective in those first two movies, at least in the first one.
Yeah.
To me, I mean, I would love to see a bring back towards that 1989 when it's not so much about all of the fighting as it is more about like Batman. I mean, you're going to get the fights, obviously, but it's more about like what Batman can do with his brain as opposed to his brawn.
I just would like to see a Batman that's more proactive and the star of his own movie.
Yes.
And what we've seen mostly
not just at fighting.
Not just in fighting. What we've seen mostly is everyone else is the star. Jack Nicholson in the first one. Michelle Pfeiffer in the second one, Batman Returns. The Batman Begins. Liam Neeson as Ra's al Ghul. In the second one, the Joker. In the third one, Bane. And so to me, I want to see something that is Batman focused where Robert Pattinson is leading the charge and he's the one you're talking about when you leave the theater. It doesn't mean the other characters have to suffer. I just want something where Batman is the star, because that's why we come back to the comics.
Right.
It isn't to read a Joker, it's to read the Batman and see what he does.
Well, and that's what the movie's called, right? But also, I mean, if he's a younger Batman, maybe we're seeing more of a Man of Steel vibe where he's becoming Batman, right?
Yeah.
Where he's kind of maybe it's his first detective work that we get to see while the people around him are kind of helping him become the Batman.
Yeah, that's the stories. That's what the stories are saying here, that it's going to be a Batman that is in formative stages. Right. So we don't need to see the Waynes killed again, do we? We're done with that, right?
We're done with the Waynes killing.
I want more slow-mo pearls falling on the floor. I am joking.
All right, here's a question from Casey Supersonic before we move on. My question for Pattinson is, can he pull off the physical martial arts aspect of Batman? He can certainly do the detective parts, but can he do the physical?
I don't want the ninja Batman. Okay. I want my Michael Keaton Batman with a hard right fist. Like, I don't need...
With the sneer?
I don't need the Ra's al Ghul. I don't need that Batman. I already saw that Batman. Yeah. Give us a different Batman. Put the Batman around Pattinson. Don't put a Pattinson around the Batman.
Okay.
A.K.A. Bobby Bats. Don't make
Bobby
me do something I don't want to do.
Look,
the papers.
I'm okay with some cool martial arts fights. That's great. I think whatever you think of Batman v Superman, the Batman fights on that movie are some of the best Batman fights we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. They look fantastic. So we have that already. So yes, I'm more interested in the character and the mind and getting into the mind of the Bat.
And I'm gonna put you guys on the spot before we wrap this thing real quick.
It's hard to fight in a cape too.
It is hard to fight. Yeah. It's hard to turn in that cape.
Totally.
Too. Yeah. As Kalinowski will tell you. Listen, if we have a Robin, who should play Robin to Robert Pattinson's Batman?
So now it has to be someone way younger than
it would have Robert. To be a little, a little bit younger. Not maybe way younger, but could be a little bit, because if it's going to be...
I think they could be peers. I don't think it necessarily has to be a younger person. I know you guys talk about all of the comics. I don't necessarily know the comics, so doing something that's close to canon but different, I wouldn't mind seeing a peer of his, somebody like, I like a TV actor, like the kid that plays Lip in Shameless.
Okay.
I forget that actor's name, but he's really good. Maybe even
what about somebody like Danny DeHaan or what's
Dane
his name?
Dane DeHaan? He's kind of more of a villain.
A little bit, because he played Goblin already.
Actually, he would be
Spider-Man.
a good Scarecrow if they do Long
He'd be
Halloween.
a great Scarecrow. That's a good point. That's good. Anybody else? What about a female Robin? Is that possible too?
I mean, if we go Dark Knight,
Returns,
with
Carrie.
I love that idea. I could. That is a tailor-made role for Maisie Williams.
Holy crap.
Damn, Josh.
Fantastic, Josh. That's a perfect way.
Show's over. Josh wins.
Set it all up. There you go. All right. Well, next up on the show, we're going to be talking about Pixar's Onward trailer. So hit the live chat with some questions. Dorian is monitoring that live chat as best he can. But before we dive into that, let's check out this clip from Perry, who is still at that Overlook Film Festival in New Orleans.
Hey guys, hope you're enjoying the show. Day one at Overlook is done. I've seen 2 movies, Dead Don't Die, which wasn't really for me. Pacing was a little off. I didn't find it that funny or clever. But then after that movie, I went and I saw a movie called Head Count, which you're actually going to be able to see in theaters and on VOD. June 14th, comes out super soon. If you like creepypasta, which is what Slenderman is, keep an eye out for that one. I really dug it. Got a big lineup today. I believe I'm seeing In Fabric, Satanic Panic, and then going out and about here in New Orleans. Hopefully I survive, and then I will see you on Monday.
I love those videos, but I need to see something popping out of those cars or popping out from behind Perry, because it's a horror film festival. There should be something.
There was a lot of cars just stopped back there. I was waiting for something creepy.
Why didn't you go, Josh?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's do some plugs here real quick before we move on to that Pixar trailer. Godzilla Ending Explained with director Michael Dougherty is dropping later tonight. For anyone who wants insight into the movie's ending from the source himself, Michael Dougherty, and the Collider Mailbag episodes are going up this weekend. I welcome Mark Andreyko and Drew McWeeny onto the show. 10 a.m. Eastern time is when they're dropping, so come and go watch out for those. And they're only on video now. They're no longer on the podcast feed, so you can only watch them and get that information when you watch it on the YouTube channel. All right, let's move on. Pixar released their first trailer for their next film, Onward. This marks the studio's first non-sequel release in nearly 3 years.
Whoa.
When it comes out this spring. It's directed by Monsters University filmmaker Don Scanlon, and it features the voices of Tom Holland, Chris Pratt, Julie Louis-Dreyfus off that fantastic last season of Veep, and Octavia Spencer, who's incredible in Ma. It tells the story, it takes place in a suburban fantasy world and revolves around 2 teenage elf brothers who embark on an extraordinary quest to discover if there's still a little magic left out in the world. Josh Macuga, buddy films are up your alley, as Bad Boys would tell you. How excited are you for this?
Don't forget about Let's Be Cops.
And Let's Be Cops, of course. The great Jake Johnson. What do you think about this particular trailer?
Listen, I'm a sucker for Pixar movies.
Yeah.
Right? I love them so much. I love a good animated film, though I seem to always get them wrong in the Schmodown. Mostly because I don't think I pay close enough attention in animated movies. But I do love a good Pixar movie. Now, this trailer is really cool. I love the world creating they do in these things, right? They give these mystical creatures traits that we would think, but then we'd never really seen before. I love the fact that they made unicorns scavengers.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why they did it, and I don't know why that's true, but I think it's because every person out there is like, I'm a unicorn, and unicorns are just these annoying creatures. That's what they've become, is like they become these annoying things, and they've made them so they're trash collectors, and they're basically raccoons. I love that.
I'm so happy because I've always thought that unicorns are jerks.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
They're just the worst.
Okay.
But here's what sold this trailer for me.
Yeah.
The Cars Magic slides in right there, which is an amazing, amazing song.
Yes, it
and
is.
these Pixar movies have great scores. They're scored really well, and they have great original music, but they also have great music they put inside of them. To put the Cars Magic in this trailer sold me.
Yeah. And then we're just around the corner from this. It's March 6th, 2020. So we're less than a year away from seeing this. We're getting a first trailer in the 2019 calendar year. It's interesting. So they must have a lot of faith in this one going forward. You look at this. How is this going? A lot of people are comparing it to Bright, Dorina, the Netflix film with Will Smith. Does this make any sense, the comparison?
Why are they comparing it to that crappy movie?
Because they're trying to
so
say
weird.
it looks like they're trying to say they're going on some kind of quest or something, but it doesn't feel like the same thing at all.
No. This trailer got me really excited, mostly because I love original Pixar stuff. Like I get it, The Incredibles 2, the last sequel, the Toy Story 4 sequel that we're getting. Like it's fine. Like those, I'm sure they're entertaining. It's great, but Coco was amazing.
Yeah.
I know I'm biased, but it's one of my favorite Pixar movies. Like Josh mentioned, the world building in that is incredible. What they did with the folklore of the story.
Yep.
I'm excited to see what they do with this. Also, I like Monsters University. I thought it was a decent sequel.
Me too.
I mean, they had a monster mom jamming to the metal band Mastodon, so that was pretty awesome. So props to Dan Scanlon, the director. So yeah,
nice Mastodon pull too.
It's
I'm
a metal nerd. But so I'm excited to see this, and I don't think it will be anything like Bright.
I agree. You look at this thing, though.
Bright.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. There it is.
What? I'm like, it finally clicked in my brain. I'm seeing the. Okay, sure. This looks a ton like Bright here, John. You know what this reminds me of? Two brothers going on a journey, just like Bright. It was him and a reptile in Bright.
Yeah, and one was and they were cops trying to figure out how to work with each other, two different species.
Nothing cooler.
These are both elves.
Yeah, nothing cooler than brothers hanging out in
of
a
Let's
movie.
Be Cops.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen to me.
Oh, boy. Here we go. Here we go.
Just a real quick. I'm going to go right to my camera here. Let's Be Cops is a great movie. John, go ahead.
I can't agree. It's a fun movie, though. That's for sure. Did they make a mistake not having Orlando Bloom voice one of these characters as elf? Do you think he'll pop up as an elf somewhere down the? Do you think
he's the top person that the casting directors have when it's like when you have to hire an elf? Orlando Bloom.
It's either Hugo Weaving or Orlando Bloom.
Or Kate Blanchett.
Or Kate Blanchett. I would love to see Orlando pop up as one of the characters on this. Some kind of wink towards everybody. It'd be really funny.
Have they said who the composer is?
I don't have that in the notes. No, I don't know if there's a composer assigned.
Because Josh is right. The new Pixar movies, like Michael Giacchino, did a beautiful job with Coco.
Yeah.
And Inside Out.
There is one thing I also really like about this trailer is we don't know anything about the plot other than it's like, hey, we're going on a quest,
right?
And Chris Pratt is giving us his best Andy Dwyer as the lead singer of Mouse Rat voice. He's like, we are going on a quest. I think that's the beautiful part is that they just set up a world, and this is the definition of a teaser trailer. Yeah. It really is.
Yeah, and you know what I hope for, maybe what I got from the trailer was that these are magical creatures that have seemed to now live in a world that's lost its magic,
right?
And I feel like that's something that we all need to see right now, and so hopefully it'll be
well said.
Yeah.
And I like that Pete Docter is producing this one. Pete Docter, who directed and wrote a bunch of the Pixar films that I thoroughly love, like Inside Out, like Up, and Monsters, Inc. himself as well. So there's a lot to be said for this particular film coming out. We don't get a lot in this, like you said, there's not a lot of plot thrown out. We just get an idea that this is a world that's changed. It used to be magical and beautiful, and now we have centaurs delivering newspapers, fawns painting, gnomes looking like gnomes, but then mowing grass. So it's a fun, interesting world. I'll be honest with you, I didn't feel the magic that I normally feel when I see a Pixar trailer, but I'm certainly interested to see what more there is to see here and what the connection is. And I like that they're putting Spider-Man with Peter Quill back together again and having them go on an adventure. So that excites me as well.
I agree.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think listen, because it's a teaser trailer, I love the world building, but we haven't seen a ton yet as to what this movie is going to be. But how do you doubt a Pixar? How do
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
how do
yeah.
you
I mean,
doubt-
also, that's all I need to see. Like, I will go watch this movie. Maybe the reason some people, or like you said, John, you're not as hooked is because we don't know the characters, right?
Right.
Like, maybe you get more hooked on a Toy Story 4 trailer or a sequel trailer, but like that, give me original content, man. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, well, I know, but they've done that before with Incredibles. They've done that before with other, like Nemo. Like, I was hooked with those trailers.
Okay.
Something about this, I just don't know yet. But I'm certainly, like you said, like Josh said, how do you doubt Pixar?
John's a unicorn.
And unicorns are
I am, and I like unicorns. There's nothing wrong with unicorns.
Yeah, there
You know,
is. There
they
is.
didn't choose to be unicorns. They just are, for God's sakes. All right, let's look at these. A couple of people asking Fulcrum. This is scary that Fulcrum keeps. I don't trust a thing called Fulcrum. What will
What
be
about the Millennium Fulcrum?
Oh, boom.
There it is again. God damn it.
What will be the opening box office for something like this? What do you guys think?
Well,
85.
Do we know that?
Yeah.
You said March?
Yeah, March.
I feel like that's, I mean, a Pixar movie coming out earlier in the year is going to make money because
Yeah.
there's not going to be a lot of competition.
Yeah, 75, 80, I would say.
I want to see who the female lead is in this. Is there a love interest? Is there a love story? I think that's going to be
I hope-
essential to pushing this
I
into
hope there's a
certain-
love story between the two dudes.
Oh, okay.
Anyways.
All right. You know what? I stand corrected.
This is from the girl who really wants Captain America and the Winter Soldier to fist each other in
I
Marvel.
didn't say that. I did not say that.
You
I
did.
said that it would be okay if it happened.
Okay.
I
What
did not
just
pitch
happened?
it though.
We're having a nice show.
Watch Collider
What
Live.
just
No, just
happened?
saying.
See what you did, Fulcrum? See what you did with your questions? All right, here's a question for you. Let's
just
move on
killed
now.
Dorian.
We'll see what happens
My bad.
with the film. The film
Sorry,
comes
dude.
out. God, are you still going? The film comes out on March 6th, 2020, like I said, and I'm sure we'll get more trailers and more voices that heard on this, so that'll be exciting down the road. Maybe Orlando Bloom, like I said. But let's move on to some questions here from the fans. Soshar1999 goes, one ticket. What film are you looking forward to in the forthcoming cinema calendar year? If you could only see one film that's left
One
this
ticket.
year, if you could only buy one ticket.
Okay.
After this week, I'm saying Rambo Last Blood.
Of course you are. I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah.
I
Good trailer,
am
by
really
the way.
excited for the clown movies this year. So I would have to choose between It Chapter 2 and Joker.
Okay.
So that's so hard.
Right.
I'm probably Joker.
Okay.
Just because he's my dude. Yeah.
I agree with Dorina. If I had one ticket left, Joker would be the one.
Really?
Yeah, everything else.
It looks so good.
Everything else, I can get around to. But Joker, I just need to see if it's going to work.
Yeah. Or they sold me on that trailer. Maybe the movie's not as good, but that trailer is one of the best we've seen in a while.
Nothing quite like watching a movie about a man suffer mentally into a Joker state. Give me a break. This movie's going to be trash.
Clowns are cool.
Here's
Come on,
another.
Josh.
Clowns are not cool. They are not.
What?
Clowns are not cool.
Well, no. Of course.
They are not.
They're unsettling. That's for sure.
Yes.
Let's see here. What's the next question you got here? Okay. MK Songbird asks, what television actor / actress do you feel is poised to become a movie star? Movie star.
Ooh, so many people on Game of Thrones.
I got one. Can I go
ahead.
first?
Yeah.
Jodie Comer, off of Killing Eve.
Totally.
Oh,
There's
that's
no
true.
way she's not primed to be. She
Yeah.
just won a
But
BAFTA.
I think she might be
for Killing Eve.
an international movie star.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think it's
Yeah.
more of like because she,
She's Scottish, right?
She's Scottish,
Yeah.
yeah. But totally, she is. Not only is she very good at acting, but she's extremely attractive, and I could see her in just about anything.
Yeah.
I don't know about how big she would get, but we were just talking about Fleabag earlier.
Oh, Phoebe
and
Waller-Bridge.
Phoebe Waller-Bridge, I think, is an incredible actress and writer. So I'm excited to see what she does. I'm excited to see her do more movies. I think she's really talented.
Keep talking. I got to figure out this guy's name. The guy from The Sinner that we were talking about being Batman that played the husband of Jessica Biel in The Sinner season 1. Hold on.
Okay.
He was great. We had talked about him being Batman. Christopher Abbott, I think is. Yep, Christopher
Okay.
Abbott.
Christopher Abbott.
I think
Okay.
that dude has movie star qualities.
All right.
Yeah.
We have I think we can have time for two more real quick. From BCD, besides Avengers, if you could insert yourself in any of your favorite films of this year or last year, what would they be? He says he'd love to be, or this person says they'd love to be in the world of Pikachu or Booksmart.
Booksmart's a good one. You're going to see it tonight. I
am.
love that movie.
Yeah.
Last
definitely
year or
would be
this year?
Pikachu.
Yeah.
I do not want to be in Detective Pikachu.
Okay.
Or I guess, does Dorina on it? The Pokemon? Need Dorina?
Sure, if you want to be in it. Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't want to be in Pokemon.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying. Which one would you want? Which world would you want to be in?
I don't want to be in a superhero world.
No, that's too stressful.
I'd want to be.
Really?
I'd want to be Seth Rogen in Longshot.
That's
Oh,
actually
nice.
a good one.
You'd like to be in that world?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good movie.
Yeah?
So we can pick from last year as well.
Yeah, last year or this year?
I mean, Mandy, because it's a super cool sci-fi fantastical movie where anything can happen, including
choice.
cheddar goblins showing up and puking mac and cheese on you.
Yep. I'd be in Roma just to irritate Josh.
Yeah.
You'll
Nailed
be
that.
the dog barking on the roof.
That's right. Be the dog
One
pooping.
dog barking. The entire movie is dogs barking.
That's
and pooping.
how it is in Mexico.
And pooping in the driveway,
And
which really
pooping.
drove me
It's just
insane.
dog
That
That's
drove
what
me insane.
happens.
Yeah.
That's what we grew up with, Josh.
All right, last question to wrap this up. Bowie Buddha asks, Supergirl's rumored to start production early 2020. Who would you cast? And does this mean the end of Henry Cavill as Superman?
So Supergirl movie.
Yeah, Supergirl. Who would you cast as Supergirl?
Well, the Supergirl show has kind of ruined Supergirl for me.
Wow.
Because that show is just the worst.
Wow.
It is very cheesy.
It
I
is
agree.
Just the
It's
cheese.
could have
not
been
my
really
type
good.
of show.
No.
But Benoist is a good actress.
But yeah, she's
she's
great.
She's doing what she can
Yeah.
with that.
Totally.
But
Yeah.
it's just too cheesy for me.
Yeah. We said it before, but I'd love to see Emily Blunt as Supergirl.
Emily Blunt. Oh, so
Yeah.
an older Supergirl.
Older Supergirl.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
She crushed it in Edge of Tomorrow.
All right.
Wait, what was the second part of the question?
And are we done with Cavill as Superman?
Oh, I mean, that's the rumor. I hope it's not true. I would love to see Henry back with a good story. You know, I'm still hoping for Man of Steel 2. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but the rumor is that he is gone.
Yeah.
For Supergirl, you know, she's already been in a superhero movie, but Sophie Turner, I think would be good.
Sophie Turner.
Oh,
Even though she's already
Okay.
Jean Grey, yeah.
What about Natalie Dormer? Any thoughts
Oh.
on Natalie
I
Dormer?
love
Natalie
her.
Dormer.
Right?
Yes.
Man, Game of Thrones really just turned in some careers. I
Really?
mean, they just really gave it to you.
Yeah.
Talk about, you know who would be a good Alfred? We were talking about this morning.
Yeah,
on
who's
live
Sir
subject?
Davos.
Sir Davos.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
Liam Cunningham.
Yes.
Yes. Or
Mr. Wynn.
or Sir Jorah Mormont.
Oh, Jorah would be great as well.
Yes.
Ian Glenn is, if you watch Ian Glenn, he's done some really badass shows
Yes.
on the BBC. So Ian Glenn has been,
He's got one out on Netflix right now. It's just a single name. I forget what it is.
yeah.
He plays like a cop, like a dirty cop.
It's called Badass is what it's
Yeah.
called. Jack Taylor is the one that
Jack Taylor.
Yeah, Jack Taylor's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. Someone said, Dorian weighing in. Yara Shahidi for Supergirl. Dorian trying to get himself a date on the show. All right, well, thanks everybody for watching this episode of Collider Movie Talk on this lovely Friday. Really appreciate you all taking the time. I want to thank Dorina and Josh for stopping by.
Thanks, John.
Thank
It's
you.
a blast with you guys. And of course, Perry will be back on Monday from the Overlook Film Festival. Keep following her on Twitter and everything that she does on social media to see her responses to the movies she's going to see there. For those of you who are massive horror fans, I want
What's
to thank
wrong with you people?
Yeah,
Sorry.
there you go. All right, well,
Everything.
I want to thank Adam Smith in the booth, Thad Williams, and of course
Cody.
Dorian, who helps
Cody's
us out
in the
as well,
booth
and then
today.
Cody as well for doing his deal. Hey, sorry about your lineman there, Cody, from Tampa Bay Buccaneers. All right, there we go. All right, thanks everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great weekend and take care, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye.